Alrighty, I'm going to take an upsetting picture real quick. And then I'm going to set up the YouTube thing. So 1 second, my sweets. Oh boy, we're just really fucking this up this morning, eh? It's all good. I think you guys are going to like what we're going to work on today. Add a link. Paste. Done. Okay. So sorry about that. So, today, we're gonna do a little bit of things, something a little different. So I'm getting ready to open up commissions and kind of want to show what all I do, because I've mainly been doing a lot of, I don't know why I just changed that to live chat. I know it's gonna fuck up. Yep, there it went. All right, I'm so sorry about all that, my sweets. I have a new little BRB screen, which I'm really excited about. On top of that, I have decided I'm going to go ahead and open up commissions. Probably going to be tomorrow will be like the first day I open them up. Initially, I was thinking I want to do just 1490 Doom stuff, but I don't think that's the case. Pretty much as long as it is something that is in my wheelhouse, I'm pretty much down, with the exception I'm not going to be making any walkers or child inverted sized things, just from a perspective of how long that takes. And also, I don't know even where to begin pricing that, because I don't know, there's just so, I have no idea how much time it took me to build either of those. It's so much of building those really big ones. So much of it is the engineering of it and figuring out how to make the thing actually bear its own weight, as not only like from a lore standpoint, like in the world it's supposed to be, but from a physical in our world. The walker especially was a pain in the ass, and the child inverted also very difficult. It has a very solid steel rod through its back to hold up the upper body, because there's a very large difference between the top, the middle, and the bottom. And without using something very strong to reinforce it, it would never hold. But today I thought, well, why not show some of the fun kind of stuff I like to do outside of making 1490 Doom? Mainly because there's a couple reasons, but I'm at a point with these guys, and I'll go ahead and I'll show where we are, just because there's, you know. So this one is pretty much done. Let me pull up OBS over here so I can make sure I've got this on the thing. So here's the night. Yesterday I went in and I did. Creeplin, what are you doing? 1 second. Creeplin! Creeplin, it's fine. Dramatic little baby. Always so dramatic, this one. Which, speaking of Creeplin, I would be a terrible father if I did not also speak its praises. So, here's the stairs. Here are the stairs from yesterday that we were printing. Oh boy, probably shouldn't be carrying that around as loosely as it was. Really pleased. Again, Barstows, you're a crazy man. Shout out Hexbricks. Seriously. He's about to start doing some Trench Crusade, World War I stuff. And I did not vote for it. I voted for the Jade Empire. I would love to have more Asian style architecture files, especially ones made by him. But to be real, fucking anything that guy makes, I will probably throw money at him. Yeah, it's just, you can clearly tell when someone throws something together with like the same brick versus sculpting the whole damn thing. I'm just very impressed. So I'm showing off that night. This guy's pretty much done, except for painting. Went in yesterday. I touched up a few of the spots in the hair. I also went and I added the green stuff along the... I'm not going to remember what that's called off the top of my head. It's been a rough morning. And I'm also saying I need to put a little green stuff right where the tube meets. So yeah, we're going to go back on that. There's just a couple of spots that still need green stuff. The brute is done. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the brute's done. I don't think there's anything I really need to do on this one. I could use a little bit more green right on the very edge of that bag. Achilles Scavenger still needs its arrows. I did not get to finish that yesterday. So those are very quick though. We're just gonna do some more clips. Cutting. Yesterday I finished green stuffing this guy, which was not as rough as I thought it would be, but it did take me longer on the boot. He's got these really fun little pointy boots. I had some silly shoes like this. Man, the girl I dated at the time hated them. And I can't stress enough how fucking rad they were. But they were like suede. They were like suede shoes, but they were so pointy. For a long time, I was just really wearing pointy shoes. And just like really fucked up elf shoes. They're really rad. I still stand by it. They were dope shoes. But yeah, so pretty much just did filling in green work. Added the buckle. You gotta have a buckle, added a little bag. Green stuff the hands, green stuff the legs. The leg had to be kind of reworked because his proportions where the knee was right here. It needed to be higher, so I did that. From there, the scavenger, I went in, added this nice dent in the side of his helmet. This son of a bitch flew off, and I had to redo that, so that was a fun thing. Let's see, then I went in and I filled around the edges of here to make where the little cables go into the backpack to make a little seamless seam. And I also kind of added some ports on the side of this, which I imagine this is like cast iron. And I wanted it to have some real gnarly looking ends where the hose would fit in. I don't think I'm gonna go back in and clean that. I think I want it to look jagged. Breathe. Be good. Okay, good creepling. And then the assassin. Assassin, yesterday we did a whole bunch of goofy stuff and just started hacking a bunch of stuff off of it and replacing it with foil instead of using the plastic that was already there. And that was a mistake. We'll put some super glue on there right quick. I'm really excited to get into what we're working on today. It's a little change of pace, but I kind of need it. And I think people would also might enjoy that. And I got to do a little bit of green work right there. So there's just a smidgen of green stuff left. And then cutting the pins for the arrowheads, or for the arrows. I will put these over on my other desk. That way I don't do anything crazy, like knock them off. Into the floor. I haven't done that, wink. A couple times, wink. Today though, we're gonna be doing some troll stuff. I saw it in a vision right before I went to sleep, and I had to think about it and think about it and think about it to make sure I didn't forget. But I didn't forget, my sweets. So we get to have fucked up troll stuff. So that's what we're gonna be getting to. I think I'm probably going to have to do something with that hot end that I got, that I took out. I had to take out of Greenland. So, I don't know if you all are familiar with the box trolls that $1 Billion Clown Farm made, but I did a thing, and I'm really happy with my choice. That is a face only a father could love, and it's me. I'm the father. Tyler, I took your son. Now he's my son. Look how beautiful he is and majestic. He's going to have a bucket. Tyler, you're going to love it. I noticed there was a few things off about the troll that you made, so I'm fixing them. That's absolutely a joke, just to specify. But yeah, so now we're just going to get into it. And I don't want to die. So I'm going to put on a mask right quick before I start drilling this welding. I always say do as I say, not as I do, but fuck that. Do as I do. Actions speak louder than words, right, my sweets? Come on. So that, I was about to try to blow on this, is going to be where this goes. Hey! Good morning, buddy. How are you? Are you ready for some spoopy troll stuff? It's spoopy troll time. Remember our little troll friend from the other day? I fixed him. So he's the bucket troll. And his face is, it's good now. It's good. So that's what we're going to be working on today, I think. But first, we got to put something in there for me to hold so I can sculpt on him. So we're going to grab one of our handy dandy pieces of metal. Yay, random pinning bits. Yeah. As far as commissions, I was going to talk about that. I pretty much, after talking to multiple people that do this and have been doing this and know what they're talking about, I definitely have got an overall idea. Yay. Oh, wow, that looks sick. I hope I can catch a good bit of it. People are calling this morning. Oh, man. The internet's all down. Which one of you broke my internet? I need it to watch my Fox News. Yeah, I'm loving this head. This is gonna be great. So I've been watching a lot of, which I'll get into that too. I've been watching a fuck ton of RedWetSkeleton, which I know Reddit has beef with him because they think that he steals credit from people, and that's fine. I'm not saying that you should steal credit from people. I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying I like his shows, and regardless of whether he has been credited for some of the discoveries that were on his show, he also is the reason that most of the scientists were able to go do the things that they did because of the money from the show. So you got to be able to see a full picture. But I've not seen anything that makes me think he's a bad person. So if anything, I'm constantly watching that show and being like, man, maybe there is hope as I break this jaw unintentionally. Come on. There we go. You got to get back down there. That's right. Big smiles. Big grins. He says, Tyler, why didn't you give me big old arms and legs? How was I supposed to eat food? This is going to be a really upsetting animal being. But yeah, RedWetSkeleton. Everyone who gets a commission, rest assured, I will give it the proper kiss before I send it off on its way. Just a little. I got to tell you, every time he catches an animal, no matter how dangerous it is, when he doesn't kiss it, I'm just so fucking angry. I'm just like, you didn't kiss it right? Because the first couple episodes that we watched, that was a very key part of every animal that he would like catch and then like release into the wild. Like right before he'd like let him go, he'd be like, and I'm just always, I love that so much because it's like, I do that with cats. Pretty much every cat I meet. If you let your cat near me, I might kiss it. I'm not going to say that I won't. And I actually have done that. And then immediately after that, I was just like, was that weird? Did I kiss that guy's cat? On the head. Just a little, oh, what a sweet baby. I guess that's like the equivalent of like kissing babies, if you like babies. like if you're like running for office or something, which there's a joke in there. Anywho, yeah, this is going to be great. We're just going to fill in a little bit of his mouth. Oh my goodness, you silly goofball. I'm so excited. We're going to have a great day here. But yeah, so my wonderful, wonderful friend Chessie did a very, very, very adorable little drawing for my BRB screen. So now I get to take bathroom breaks, which is very exciting. I will demand that I don't need to, but I know others will be like, dude, you got to go pee. Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff. We will be doing the Dying World Thursday tonight as well. I'm going to be doing that Thursdays, like whether I feel like I'm ready or not, because that is how you get used to something and start doing it more regularly, which is what I want to do. Yeah, the amount of people that reached out about commissions yesterday was very pleasing. I definitely don't have a standard style. And I know some people might be worried about, wow, if you're doing things by the hour, how many hours does that take? It takes a lot, as you can see on here. However, a lot of the stuff that I do on here, I do a lot slower because I get derailed by talking. When it's just me in my basement, I tend to actually get a shit ton of stuff done. It's just the final details, going back over, doing really small filler work, that kind of stuff. Typically is where all the time incurs. But I definitely want to be able to have very clearly something made by me in price points that people can have access to. And I think that that is doable. A lot, in fact, that I probably am, I don't know, I wouldn't say that I'm considering my materials costs way lower than I should, but I probably am because I don't buy kits. Now, if someone has a very specific thing that they want, like I want you to use this kit and convert it, I can do that, but like I would have to buy the kit. As far as like me making something, it's pretty much, I'm not going to say scratch build because some of these, I mean, I do use a lot of models as a base, but my actual parts that I use are typically trash and just bits from a horrible amalgamation of old model kits. I just have an obscene bits box. That's part of it. That shelf with millions of bits. And that's not including what's inside these cabinets or what is inside of other places. So yeah, I'm definitely, the expense would be time. And then also, if you want it painted, that definitely, it takes me a while to paint. However, I'm also 100% down with just making people things for them to paint. Which I'm not saying, hey, that's how I prefer to do it, because I know people have absolutely just wanted a full completed work from me. And I absolutely can do that. I just have to get a very precise idea of how long it'll take to do things. But it's all gonna be estimates. It'll be discussed depending on commission. But yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about that. I'm also very, very, very excited about this. I love this guy already. He was originally going to be possibly something I saw. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, his body is very fun. He's gonna have just nice, long, spindly limbs. Yep, that's where I was going. Been watching a lot of Forrest Galante. He does a lot of stuff with alien sharks, and the goblin shark has always been one of my favorite things in the world. Since I found out about them as a very, very small child. I have always been enamored and a very big fan of the things that live in the abyssal deep. I find a kindred spirit with them. I like, I guess, how scary a lot of them are, looking wise, but it's just like, oh yeah, that thing, it's not really scary. It's just actually pretty goofy. It just looks like that, which I think is a very key part of horror. It's typically commentary. Speaking of which, holy shit, Weapons was amazing. I was a very big fan. I would recommend. I also did not realize that it was from the guy that directed it. I knew that he directed Barbarian. I did not realize that he was one of the guys from The Whitest Kids You Know, which is amazing. There are some parts in it that are absolutely, they are hilarious. It's black humor, like pitch black humor, but it's good. Not pitch black. Well, the last really funny part is really good because you're like, man, you can just feel it, or at least I know I could. I was like, it's way too happy right now. We're about to get something grisly, and then you do, and it's wonderful. Yeah, I was a big fan. If you like horror, I would recommend it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and fill in that other little gap right there. Push. Push, push, push. And with that said, also commissions would be something that I would not work on stream because of time, respecting whoever's commission it is and mine. I know that when I'm on here working, I'm chattier and I do not get as much done, and I'm not able to focus as much. That's so good. You're so good. You're so pretty. Look at you go. Alrighty. So we're going to put a little bit more aluminum foil on this guy and that guy. And then we're going to start epoxy sculpting. I love epoxy sculpt in the morning. Now, my comment earlier about the child inverted and not making anything like that big, that's true. Now, the Paramore size, yeah, I love fucking around with that size. Anything like a foot, not 2 feet. Just because also I'm trying to keep in mind getting the thing to people, and I cannot stress enough, anything that is the size of the walker or the child inverted, outside of mailing it in pieces, I don't know how I would even go about doing that, because that thing is hard to transport on land, much less like putting it in a box and, you know, giving it to a mailman. Hi, mailman. So our mailbox was connected to the house, well, our old one. We have one of those built-in ones, and Theo often likes to go when the mailman is at the house and like try to stick his little hands up in there, and it always reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob. He goes, "Hi, mailman." Did you watch the morning hobby hangout and not hear a SpongeBob quote? Probably not. Not if I'm doing my job. Oh yeah, those are great arms. What a strong boy. I bet you could pick up all the buckets you want. Which I was like, he needs to have a bucket because he's the bucket troll. And Kelly and I were discussing what could be in the bucket. And she came up with a really fucked idea. So that's the one we're going to go with. It was actually, it caught me off guard. I was like, that's dark. I like that a lot. So I feel like I had a ball already wadded up. I'm so excited to work on this guy's little head. He's going to be so beautiful. Man, someone out there's just like this is the best ASMR channel or the worst, depending on the vibes. I don't know much about that. It's not the intentional content I make, it just is a byproduct. You guys want to watch me eat a bunch of aluminum foil? That's a neck. Where did that come from? Get back in there. Super glue for me and you, but mainly just you. Yeah, just like that. Oh, working on a troll in the morning. Feeling pretty good about it. Possum and I were discussing a commission that had me very excited the more I thought about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. I also had a very good talk with the old Johnny boy last night. Good little chat, good little chat. And I learned some things about hot glue. So I will pass that on to you whenever we get to some hot gluing. Don't know when we're gonna hot glue. Hot glue is mainly a scenery. Well, if someone wants something really big, if someone wants something Paramore size, that's when we hot glue. And it's not just hot glue, it's more of building the foundation, the initial parts, the armature, if you will. That is where hot glue comes in with those kinds of builds. And then they are coated in a copious amount of super glue and grit and texture and built up. It's gonna need a butt. And it's gonna be lumpy. Because he's kind of misshapen. Mine is. The original one's supposed to be shaped like a little troll man. Look at that. Yeah. 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 Oh man, guess what's in my bucket? Teeth? Nope. I don't know. I don't want to guess. Get out of here, you mouse. Alrighty. It's everyone's favorite time. I just had a customer spell by ASMR Style Whisper their Wi-Fi password into my ear. Very nice. I like that a lot. What's uncomfortable about that? That sounds wonderful. Can you tell us? No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell us the password. We don't want to throw anyone under the bus. Yeah, sorry about the screen this morning and why there are probably two. I'll have to delete the first one. I'll go do that right now so no one else is like, yay, what the f, Eli? What the hell is even this? I'll deal with that later. I don't know how to do it anyway. And when I say I don't know how to do it, I mean I'll figure it out, but I don't currently know off the top of my head. It'll take more than just a, I'm done. Get back in there, epoxy sculpt. Boop. Like a nice little 50-50. And I like to also have gloves on when I do this, so it doesn't get on my fingers, because it's sticky. Open up my door. We've got something for you. Something, something, something. Yeah. I'm really happy Greeblin's working again. Gotta say, I was a little upset. I'm also was very excited this morning to see. Dear God, Greeblin, what are you doing? Why are you going so crazy? One of the corners on this raft is a little bumpy. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Probably fine. It's probably fine. Probably need to put a little insecure number symbols. Oh, God. That's awful. It was a quirky little old man. Honestly, pretty charming. But a motherfucker's password was long. Oh, I'm sure. Greeblin, please. Honey. You're like Margot over there. Come on. Oh, boy. So, today, we're doing the troll. We're doing it. The first little bit is just going to be epoxy. I'm just going to go in with epoxy sculpt and start filling in. 7 people here. Hey, y'all. Hi, everyone. Welcome, friends. All is welcome. I'm just going to push that in there. We'll probably push a little bit around here too, because we want to get in his little mouth. Oh, look at you. What a beautiful baby boy. He's my son now, Tyler. No takebacks. I made one of them leave saying that. Sorry. Oh, it's fine. They'll come back if they want. If they don't, that's fine too. It is what it is, baby. We're going to zoom out a little bit. I'm also going to go. Kind of looked like Dobby. Oh, yeah, no. So that's very much something that has popped into my head a couple times already. I was like, it's kind of looking a lot like Dobby, which is kind of a little bit of the vibe. Like, whenever I was thinking about what can I do with it, the first thing that came to mind was it looks really sad. Like the regular sculpt just looked really sad, and I was like, I bet I could make it look sadder. And I think I've achieved that. And I'm not even done with the head yet. And I think it already, you're like, I feel really bad for that thing. But also, it's really awful. Kelly's idea was that he's carrying around a bucket of small parts to fix himself because I made him tall and lanky. So he's like collecting small limbs to graft onto himself instead of his, which I really liked that. Oh yeah, that mouth is going to be so sick. Yeah. Okay, this is good. This is Tyler. Why didn't you give me longer legs? I'm just I love $1 Billion Clown Farm. Anything I say is a joke. Just to specify. If I've got beef with you, you know it. Right? Reagan? That's going to be something. Which I don't even know how much to even start pricing that. But the Reagan will absolutely be something that I do something absolutely horrible with and then put it up for sale probably. But there's just something I really love about taking a collector's item of a, in my opinion, not great person and making it into something that everyone who would normally like that would really not like. Okay, man, maybe I should have gone in with epoxy green because now I'm starting to just sculpt skin and I'm having a lot of fun. But, nah, I need that foundation there. And then I'll go in. Look at you. You silly goof. You silly goober, I bet you've got a bucket full of parts. Just out there, just doing your best, eh? Aren't we all, Bucket Troll? Aren't we all? Well, hopefully. Having fun is top priority. That's right. Having fun is top priority. And I'm really, I don't know. Since this thing was blasted into my meat brain, my brain meats, I was just like, I gotta make that thing happen. So this needs to come off. And it needs to go over here. Because his head's a little wonked. And his little cheeks are a little squooshed in. Oh yeah, that's great. Look at you. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Key is to take things that make people feel safe and then twist them a little bit. So like that seems a little ominous. I'll disregard it. I should have gone in with epoxy green. This is already, I'm really liking it though. But that jowl hanging down is going to be key to selling the direction of mass, like gravity, his center of gravity. That's good. Oh yeah. I fixed him. See how happy he looks. What a happy, happy baby now. Hi, Tyler. Remember me? Yeah. Loving it. All right. Yep, we gotta push that up there. Actually, I might take a little bit of that down there. Push it around a little bit more. There we go. Is his name Tyler? Yeah. $1 billion clown farm. He's wonderful. Very, very sweet. Kind person. I had a lot of fun talking with him at Adepticon. He's definitely one of the people that, like, I walked away from my conversation. I was like, I'm really glad I talked to that guy. And that's, you know, anyone I think in the 28 community that talks about, oh, what's the best thing about events? It's the people. To the point that now when like Eric goes home, his wife is just like, what was your favorite, you know, what was your favorite thing? And don't say the people. And it's just like, that's it every time. It's the people that you meet that love something as much as you do. And just want to revel in that kind of like environment. And just, I think just by nature, we're all very introverted. So it's wonderful to meet other people that are also introverted, but have like a space to feel safe to be who they are. It's just very good. Community is such a big thing. And I wish that I had started working on trying to build a bigger one earlier. A better one, bigger one, better one. I thought the model was named Tyler. What was your favorite part? And don't say the people. Why that rule? Because that's what he says every time. It was the rule. What was your favorite part? And don't say the people. Because every time that's the answer is the people. And it's not even a close. Like every Adepticon, every event that I've gone to, the games have always been fun. The models have always been fun. All the things that are there that are like why you're going are great. They are utterly outshined by just the people that you will meet. Yeah, it's wonderful. Love 28 events. Love seeing the boys. I'm really talking to Johnny. Johnny is going to Nova this year, so if you are going to Nova, find him and say hello to that boy. It's great. I know he and Eric will be there. I'm pretty sure Atri will be there. I will not be there. I will next year, though. I just have to get stuff more in order before I go and start doing stuff like that. But again, we're on the cusp. The commissions are one, I want to do that. But two, I also do need to have some form of income. And that is, the first thing will be to get another printer for the distillery. With the scale of stuff that I'm wanting to do, I will need to have two printing. We should go to as many events as possible. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm all about that. Um, and I honestly, I want to, my goal is to have some here. Like there will be at some point in time something um, near my neck of the woods, because I have a very good space for it already. And as I've talked about, the cost of living here is just exponentially lower. It is cheaper for people to get a hotel or, you know, an Airbnb. Just the cost of living is just lower than, but not for the people, for the urinals or something. Yes, yeah, not for the people. What was your favorite part? The urinals. Man, those urinals were sick. I could talk about urinals for a lot longer than I probably should, but I can tell you my least favorite urinals off the top of the dome. Easy. I can tell you my favorite. Um, oh man, where do you think you'd set an event up here? So Pritchard is the first place, depending on how big it is. If it's like a smaller 28 community kind of event, like Visterion, like the Visterion one that we had at like Asgard, that could be held at Hard Knocks easily on a weekday or a weekend, is what I meant to say. That place is huge, and it's so the entirety of Asgard could fit in the back section of Hard Knocks and then some. Like that's how big Hard Knocks is. It used to be a furniture store. So my local hobby shop is just fucking amazing as far as space wise, which is wonderful. Like I remember how much of an impact that had on me, just like from a, oh man, you know, given where I live, it's easy to be like, oh, when you meet people from bigger cities or anything like that, they're like, oh, they think I'm just like, you know, some bumpkin or whatnot. Let me go show off my game store. But like Adam, who lived in LA at the time, was just like, this is one of the best game stores I've ever been in my entire life. He was like, this is nuts that you guys have this. He was like, that's so awesome. It's, yeah, it's just run by people who love games. So I'm absolutely going to do everything I can. I got to stop sculpting this until I put some green stuff in there. Oh, nice. Maybe something playing on the background. Yeah, exactly. So outside of Hard Knocks, there's also Pritchard, which is literally within skipping distance of my house, which would be great for me as far as getting large amounts of stuff there. But there's just there's a lot of different options as far as venues, and they will all be cheaper for me to get because of where we are, as opposed to the same equivalent size. I don't even think you could find like the equivalent sizes in like places like big cities, just because of space. But that's definitely something that is going to be very much on the focus once we get the ball fully rolling here, which I know I've said, oh, hey, we're on the verge. We're on the verge. It's just a matter of just a little bit more work. That's good. His head looks a little boopy at the back. A little boop. Like kind of round. Looks like a weird Pac-Man. This is the worst Mr. Pac-Man you've ever seen. Mr. Pac-Man. Pac-Man was my father. I'm Mr. Pac-Man. I'm not Pac-Man. Pac-Man is an interesting game. You just chase ghosts and eat them. But you also eat large fruit. So I guess we know he's an omnivore. You were talking about your favorite urinals. Oh, easy. Favorite urinal? Easy. My favorite urinal is in a restaurant called the Green Bamboo here in my hometown. It is my favorite urinal. I might have even taken a picture of it. Because it is obscenely tall. Like it is, whoever installed that urinal was just a crazy person. Like there's only one. It's a compound. It's like by itself, it's not as funny. But it's the perfect storm of a, that is a really tall urinal, and it's the only urinal. Like you go in, there's a stall, and then there's the urinal. And this thing is, I mean, it's at least I took a picture. No, I did take a picture because the blocks that it was on are 18 inches. So it is at least 3 feet off the ground. Like, no, 18 times 3. Yeah. No, it's fuck, no, that's more. Yeah. Anywho, so like when we had a big thing there after Ed's service, a bunch of us were there, and it was amazing the amount of people that you could literally watch, like get up and go to the bathroom, and they'd come back and they'd sit down at another table, and then you just see them just like, it's crazy. It's like this tall. Like, it's just people just clearly talking about how bonkers this urinal is. And then eventually, my friend Jeffrey just came back. He was like, "Have y'all seen that urinal?" He was like, I mean, it kind of made me feel a little like self-conscious. He was like, if I was any shorter, I would not be able to use it. And it's just like, yeah, it's a comically tall urinal. I've never seen one as tall. My least favorite, I have 2 least favorite urinals. One might not have even been a urinal. That's number 1. Number 1 on the list. I'll talk about number 2 though. Number 2 is at the aquarium, the London Aquarium. I really do not care for their urinals. Yes, Sam, that urinal was made for you. Like, if you are not 6 feet, if you're not 6 feet tall, you will not be comfortable. And even then, you probably are going to be a little like, this seems like a trap. Why the fuck is this urinal so tall? It's suspiciously tall. But yeah, no, my least favorite was at a train station in Nottingham. I'm pretty sure it's in Nottingham. And then my second, though, is the urinals at the London Aquarium. They are bonkers, y'all. And it's the divider. There's not a wall. They have a divider. But for the life of me, I cannot comprehend what the goal was. Yeah, my least favorite urinal was a public aquarium. No, that aquarium was sick as fuck. I will say that. If you're like, man, I think I'm not going to go to the aquarium now because I hear the urinals are really, really, really bad. The aquarium is amazing. It's one of my favorite aquariums I've ever been to. I love aquariums. I love fish. I love animals, especially the aquatic animals. I, at one point, had a lot of fish tanks. Too many fish tanks in my house. We're getting lower on those, but it's just too much to handle. And that's just my tendency to, the less control I have over my own life. I feel like I want to take care of other things and give them exactly what they need. Weird, but I am actually a lot happier now, so I don't need to really rely on that kind of stuff. I need to rely on making me happy. Little PSA there for you, little boost. Take care of yourselves, my friends. He's so good. I love you so much. What a sweet, 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 sweet baby. Okay. Oh, my sweet, sweet son. Yeah, we'll go around there. I think my full intention was actually to mix that with green stuff, but we got to do this anyway. So yeah, that is my second favorite is the aquarium, and it's because of the dividers. The dividers are not a wall, and I can't stress enough. The reason it bothered me is it's just like the whole time I'm just peeing, I'm just like, what was the goal? Like, I don't understand. And then I'm just thinking like, well, am I doing something wrong? But the dividers are not like the plastic wall like that you normally would have at a urinal. They are a ceramic, thick, half circle on the wall, like just to cover where like your junk would be, like, but it doesn't. So it's just like, this is real weird. and maybe they're handrails. I don't know, but they don't work really well with that. And also, I don't know. I've never seen a urinal with handrails, so I can't think it's that either. Yeah, it was just very bizarre, and just the whole time I was just like, am I doing something very wrong? Which leads me to my number one least favorite urinal in the world. The one that I don't know if it was a urinal or if I just peed in the floor of a Nottingham train station. But it is like one of the trough kind of situations, which everybody hates the trough. Nobody likes the trough, which I'm thinking is probably it's like a thing you gotta introduce people to when they're really young for them to be okay with it. The trough is just real weird. Anyway, this one wasn't even like a trough. It was like a fucking shower. Like, there were so many stalls, but there are no urinals. There is just what looks like a shower with no shower, and it's like kind of slanted. But it was so deep that I'm just like, I mean, it was like a shower. You could stand in it. And it's just like, there's a drain. I think I'm supposed to pee in here. So I did. I don't know. I still don't know whether or not that was the right thing to do. I did it though, and I have no regrets. If that's not a urinal, you should put a sign. Please mind the piss. That's what they'd say. That reminds me, I met a really cool dude on the underground that had a bass with him. And I was just standing next to him for so long, and I just couldn't wait any longer. I was like, hey, what kind of bass you got? And he was like, oh, let me show you. And he like unzips his gig bag, because he had a gig bag on, which I love that. It's very fun seeing people use gig bags like in a traveling kind of sense. Where I live, that's not really a thing. I don't live in a place that is like metropolitan enough, I think, to like, hey, let me throw a guitar on my back and then, like, walk down to the show. You kind of got to drive everywhere in Kentucky. So now Louisville and Lexington, they've got some places like that, downtown and whatnot, that you can definitely do that. But that's why I've got pretty much all my stuff in cases, except for a couple. Yeah. Look at you. Oh my goodness. I'm here. I got lost in Hive Scum. Oh no. Welcome, Possum. Welcome. I was just discussing my favorite urinal and my two least favorite urinals in the world. I believe you have heard of my favorite, which is the one at the Chinese restaurant in my hometown that is at least 3.5 feet off the ground. It is an obscenely high urinal, and it's the only urinal. Like, if you can't stand at the urinal, you have to use the stall. And that is so insanely comical to me, because it's just like, again, like, you would have to be a full-grown person, like, to use it. Or just really fucking tall, I guess. But it's just, I'm every time I see someone like do something that's like, oh, I'm going to install a sink, it's something that it's clearly going to take a good amount of time. Just, I always enjoy when I find something that I'm like, okay, what were you thinking? Like, what was the plan? No privacy walls and literally next to the door to the public. So yeah, and that's kind of like what the ones at the aquarium in London, they had these weird half moon kind of almost shapes next to them instead of like a wall. But like, I mean, I'm not kidding. They are maybe that thick, like maybe this thick, hands, about that thick, and like maybe this tall. What the fuck what are they supposed to cover? Like, I don't, other than like, oh shit, I almost fell while taking a piss. Like, other than that, and then it would be such a fucking bad hand grab, like, because it's a big fat glass. There's no, I just can't understand. I can't understand them. And then, of course, my least favorite was the one that I'm still not to this day sure if it was a urinal or if I just pissed in the floor of a Nottingham train station. But it just looked like a fucking shower because it was like, it's literally like they were like, okay, how do you make a shower? I'm like, okay, here we go. Ah, shit. I said, how do you make a shower? Not make a shower. Like, it's like if you made a shower, but it's a urinal. And I'm like, well, fuck it. We'll just leave it like this. So I might have just pissed in the shower. No one came in. I can't stress that. But if they did, I also picked up that if you speak in a southern accent, people will leave you the fuck alone in England. And that was discovered right after, like right before we left. My roommate was just like, yeah, if you ever feel like, you know, you're not in a good spot, just start talking to Kelly in the most southern accent you can, because it is supposedly it's not the scariest. I want to say Russian. There was a list of like what are the scariest accents, like perceived. And yeah, I gotta say, when I think about why that would be, Southern English does not come off as typically the kind of people you're like, I bet that guy's not got anything crazy going on in his head of his. But yeah, anytime in London that I was like, I don't really feel safe, I would just get in my most southern drawl as I can and get low with my voice, and people would not make eye contact with me. They were like, I don't want anything to fucking do with that guy. But yeah. And also shout out to my boy Remy. There's absolutely no way in hell that he's watching this, but if he is by some chance, hi friend, I miss you. And Simon. You two were absolutely delights to meet. And I hope that you all are doing well. They were the two. The worst was the piss through at the amphitheater I saw at a concert. Oh, the piss draw. The worst was the piss draw I've seen at the amphitheater. Oh man, that would be bad. I've seen some pretty bad troughs at outdoor venues. I gotta say, when I go into a bar, I judge you by your bathroom so fucking hard. And one of my favorite bathrooms is one of the worst fucking bathrooms I've ever been in. But if it was fucking fixed, I would be so angry. And if you know me, you know I'm talking about Mag Bar, baby. It is my favorite bar in Louisville. I love playing there. I love going there. I don't go there unless I'm playing, but because I'm a hermit. But I absolutely loved that venue, and I knew that I would, because the moment that we pulled up and we got out to start like unloading our stuff, I saw 8 rats before I got in the building, and they were fuck huge. Like, they were bigger than like squirrels. They were big rats. Like literal 10-foot trawl that you just pull up on and whip it out next to the boys, and like drunk metal dudes just pointing and cheering at each other's hogs. That's the trawl. Like that's it. Like it's such a weird fucking concept. But yeah, that's kind of like my situation at the train station, except it was just me and it looked kind of like a shower. But again, it's like at least 3 feet deep. Like, I think I pissed in a shower. I think I openly pissed in a shower in Nottingham. I'm sorry if I did. But again, put up a sign. I really would recommend the one that just says, please mind the piss, because that's fucking funny. That's just me. Yeah. I'm trying to think what other memorable. Yeah, the bathroom though at Mag Bar, it just looks like a dive bar bathroom, and that's when I'm just like, yeah, if your bar looks like it's like, yep, this is a dive bar, it better have a barely functioning bathroom that's covered in punk and metal stickers and just crazy shit written all over the walls. Like, it better look like it fits in your bar, or I'm gonna be like, nope, I am not about this shit. Yeah, no, love Magbar. My buddy Garth saw Weed Eater there, and I can't even fucking fathom that. I can't stress enough. The venue, it's not a big one, and that's the thing is it's a dive bar, but fuck, it's so those are my favorite places to play. My favorite places I've ever played are easily, um, I think it was called Rival Mountain Studios, but that it's probably not right. Um, but it was in Bowling Green, whenever I was in Touchdown City. Um, but that building, it was definitely the most unsafe place I've ever played from a like safety standpoint. Um, because like both sets, like I was just like every now and then just looking over and just like, is it cool that I can see the pilot light? Like I'm just looking at it in the same room. And the capacity had been exceeded at least like threefold. Like the room that we were playing in is like pretty much the size of half of my basement. So from like here, fuck, 20 feet. It's like a 20 by 20 square room almost. I'd say for both um, Magbar and um, shit, whatever that place was. It fucking got condemned if I'm not mistaken. But again, like there were holes in the floors upstairs. But we have a bar called the Tower Bar, and I was like, okay, maybe that like cool tarot thing. But when we got there, I looked up and it just said it's a fucking tower, and everyone was like, yeah, dummy. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that. Uh, yeah, Magbar. It's just my kind of bar. It's just real, uh, real dive bar vibes. You're just like, yeah, we have a bar. Yeah, no, it's good. Okay, so let's get in this eye. I really want to do a little bit of work on that eyeball. When I was growing up, that was something I have a distinct memory of. My mother really didn't like uh, when I said eyeball, and of course my grandpa loved that. So he would just be like, "Hey, Eli, say it." And I'm like, eyeball. And he would laugh. My mom would be like, "Oh my gosh, don't have him say things like that. That's awful." And now look at me now. If only I was just saying things like eyeball. Yeah. Oh, a little surprised. Good morning, Kirk. Good to have you. Good to have you. We've been having a conversation about our favorite urinals and least favorite urinals. Niche internet famous in playing with toys. What is niche internet famous in playing with toys? Man, I lost track of what I was talking about. You. I am? Hmm. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe? We're going to get you there. Well, I think you all will do a better job of making me sound less like a monster than I will. So. Hi. Playing with toys. So the way. It's the way, man. Did I say something about playing with toys? Man, I don't, or was I just saying, oh, we're having fun doing stuff, playing with toys? Probably. I don't know, maybe I've just done like 5 interviews on my cool models that I brought the games to play with my cool friends. Maybe. I don't know. It's that self-doubt in me, man. Which is weird how it manifests, because it does not manifest whenever it's attacked, I'll tell you that. But like, only, and let me rephrase that, only from people that are like going at it from like a bully standpoint, you would definitely, that's the only time. But that's, I guess it's because I don't ever want to be like, oh, look at my stuff, look what I can do, that kind of thing. I never want to put anybody down. But if I see someone bullying someone else, I can absolutely bust out one of the who the fuck are you even use. But that's just I don't like seeing people bullied. I don't like bullies. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Am I in the frame? Yeah, I'm kind of in the frame. Oh no. Hi. Tyler. Don't I look so much prettier now with my beautiful teeth? Yeah, right down in there. Is this a BDCF troll? Yeah. Yeah, this is Tyler's bucket troll. I got his blessing, and now I took his son. Your son's my son now, Tyler. I'm really, really happy with how it's looking so far. The face is just fucked. Just very inspired by like goblin sharks. It's got lots of teeth on that bottom row. Lots of teeth. Lots and lots of felonies. But yeah, I'm feeling good about it. Also, yeah, please don't take anything that I just said as like braggadocious. That was not, or fishing for compliments. It was more of just I definitely am not very good at being like heaping praise on myself. I don't like to talk about myself. That's it, I guess. As far as, oh, I can do this, or oh, I can do that. But, and if I seem that way, I'm just yapping. I promise. He looks so good, dude. Can you believe that the original lyrics for Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas is... I can't. I loved this video of kit bashing during this week before the LA curfew. Wink, wink. I've not seen that, but that sounds like something that I would like to see. If I'm taking that how I think I am supposed to, I applaud his kit bashing. Good for you, my friend. Alrighty. That's definitely... We want that eyeball to just be kind of like bugging out of there a little bit. Yeah. No, I cannot believe that. That is... Why would they do that? Where did my green stuff go? Here it is. Man, so yeah, we were talking about urinals. I don't really know where else to go from there. That's pretty much we've discussed it all. We're out of topics. That's not true. I'm sure if I remember what I was talking about right before I got derailed, I could. Oh yeah, I'm loving this. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Look at you. So beautiful, my son. Yeah, going in there with a hobby knife. That way I can get a nice clean edge. I don't want any residue on that bead, which that is what this is. This is just a bead. Beads are very handy. Use this one for an eye. We're going to be using some for lumps. He's going to have lots of lumps. You know my boy's got lumps. Boo-doo-doo. $1 billion clown farm. My boy. Yeah. Mag bar. talking about Magbar. I love Magbar. Oh, yeah, no, my buddy Garth saw Weed Eater there. And I'm just like, dude, I don't think I'm down with seeing Weed Eater in a 20 by 20 room. I don't think Weed Eater should be allowed to play shows in that small of a space. Like, someone's going to die. And he was like, yeah, it was fucking crazy. It's like, okay, that's what I thought. Even like, I mean, shit, like Fur and Teeth playing at Magbar. There's just no room. What does Weed Eater sound like? Is it good? You would not like Weed Eater, my friend. And I say that out of a kindness, so you won't try to listen to them. Doom metally. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. I listen to a lot. That's pretty much like the majority of what we listened to while I got my tattoo from Johnny. That and Electric Wizard. I think we listened to literally the entire discography of Weed Eater, and then I think definitely had some Bong Ripper, which is. Whew, you almost saw me try to catch it. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? Not today, Satan. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Look at you, my beautiful boy. You're so handsome. And I love you. Glad you caught yourself trying to catch it. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully none of that stuff that I just said came out braggadocious, by the way. It was not supposed to be. Now I'm all like, I hope I wasn't misunderstood. Better not catch you catching again. Don't catch me catching again. You don't want to catch me slipping and catching. On that catch and release shit with my X-Acto knife. You don't. I think you worry about it too much. You're a humble bloke, I suppose. I don't want to ever. I don't like tooting my own horn. That's it, I think. And I will say that some real talk that I had that I did, I was like, thank you so much. And this is again, I suppose I'm humble. Jesus. Talking with Hollow Bodies Jackson, who is a beautiful minx. I love Jackson. I believe the word you're looking for is minx. I was like, fuck me, you're right. That is the word I was looking for. So now I will never refer to him as anything other than a beautiful minx. But he was perplexed by my obscenely loud fashion sense. It was like, you're wearing the most dripping jacket I've ever seen in my life, but then you're just like the quietest, sweetest dude. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I like what I like. Damn it. We slipped a little bit. Saku John Tiger jacket on me, cutting the drip hard. I won't rap. No rapping this morning. And that's a wrap. I will tell you this, though. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Period. I think we all know that, though. That's what I've been wanting to do. Oh, my goodness. Look at my beautiful boy. Yes. Oh. It is a dripping jacket. It's so funny. I've never known you to be quiet, but I don't think I've ever really hung out with you outside your element or with people who intimidated. Yeah, that's it. Like, I did not. So a lot of people got to experience me at Adepticon in an extremely anxious state, and I am so sorry for anybody that was just like, man, that guy seems like a crazy person. I am so hyper anxious if I'm not in a safe space. Just kind of who I am. And I'm perpetually trying to act like a human, if that makes sense. But once Johnny got there, I felt okay. I just did not have any of my boys that like I've known for so long to like make me comfortable. Um, which again, uh, one of the great things is when you go to these things, if you can get through that, uh, if you can get through that, then you know you now will have more friends for the next one you go to. It's an opportunity to meet people like you, um, who like the things that you do, and make more friends, and that's always a good thing. Um, but yeah, the conversation I had a lot of very good conversations, like very good conversations. But I had a wonderful one with Tyler while we were painting. Um, what made you feel unsafe? Just uncertain about the populace? Is there a hierarchy or cliques in this community? Oh well, there's definitely like cliques. Not there's definitely cliques, but it's not so much. It's just the sheer amount of people and not knowing anybody, and it's just like that. I especially when it's like a situation that I normally, if I don't care about something and I don't know anybody, I'm like, fuck it, let's get weird. However, because it is my community that I'm like, I want to be a part of, it's like I have to be. I go into the how am I supposed to act kind of default mode as opposed to like as soon as Johnny gets there, it's like, and I'm just kind of prancing around the whole community, the whole little building. But once I made more friends, and got to feel uh, able to talk and stuff, which Atri is one of those. Absolutely. I was very excited to meet Atri, and hang out with her, and as also Brendan, Brendan, Holy Fire them. Hanging out with them and their crew was very fun. And there were a lot of people there that I knew, but a lot of them were out. Like all the Hive Scum boys were out on the floor and stuff. And then also just me naturally forgetting to eat, those kinds of things. It all just compounds. And I can be a difficult person to be around at times. So it's just that, the anxiety of not wanting to be a burden to whoever I'm hanging out with and then feel like I'm latching onto them. But as soon as like someone that I'm very comfortable with gets there, then it's just like, hey, I get to be me. I am pretty quiet though, also. Like just if I'm not talking. Derp. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful baby boy. Look at my son. You are my son. I'm his son. Mwah. Just like that. And then we release him into the wild. Right, Forrest? Yeah, not to toot my own horn, but apparently I need to go with you to remind you that you're rad as hell and better than other people to me. Well, thank you. I'm not better than anybody. I'm just another meat puppet, like everyone else. A meat puppet with big old hair. But actually, it's not as big as it used to be. A lot of people did get to see me once I finally got comfortable. Going up and down the escalators, doing the really fun thing I like to do when my hair is really big, just going, which is, it's fun when it's small. It's hilarious when it's like a foot tall. When my hair hits like the foot tall point, and I'm like, yeah, he was like I'd say like 6'6" with hair. Now, like if you shaved his head, oh man, he's probably like maybe 5'9". If I had to guess, 5'10". That's good. I like this little twist that we got here. Yep, that's fun. That is fun. You handsome lad, you. Yay. Tyler, tell me I'm pretty. Yeah. But no, I would love to have the company, my friend. And you definitely need to go because, and then Cody. So yeah, not to leave anybody out. As soon as Cody and Eric got there, I also felt comfortable. It's everybody that like I felt really comfortable around all got there the next day. So just like the first day, I was very on edge. Also, man, speaking of that trip, shout out to my boy Clay. Again, thanks for, keeping us alive. I've never felt like I was going to die more in my entire life. And that includes the time I had to hang off of a train bridge while two trains went over the bridge. Like, is that Lean on Me or whatever? I've seen the movie like once. It's supposedly a classic. However, I had not Stand By Me. Stand By Me, similar, but this was like in the very middle of a bridge over a river, with two trains going over it, and we had to hang off the railroad ties. Uh, I felt more in control of not dying then uh, than I did on the way back from Adepticon this year. We got caught in the wind farm area of Indiana in the middle of a thunderstorm with 85 plus mile per hour winds. Um, Street signs were, it was utterly horrifying. Like I was like, we're gonna fucking die. Like I just really thought we were. And I will say that I'm very firm in my belief that Clay staying calm, like, and me standing pretty much like got up in the chair and I'm just like looking out the window, like the front, back, side, like all the windows, while he just like focuses, like spotting and telling him like when to slow down. Like, okay, here comes a tree. Like it's a fucking tree just getting thrown across the road. That was the scariest shit, for real. And like, again, huge props to Clay. I think you were the reason that we did not die. It was a team effort, but I couldn't fucking do it. Like, there's no way I could have driven the car in that. There was this very distinct point where we were like, God, we got to find an exit and get off here and find somewhere to like take shelter. And it's just like, it's a wind farm, dog. There are not places there. It's not safe to live like when it's not like thunderstorming like it was. It's there's signs all over. It's just like the winds are very fucking strong here. That face is looking so good. Oh my goodness. Look at you, my boy. Look at you. It's hard to believe that this is exactly what the model looked like right out the box. It did. I'm just kidding. Now, Tyler had some little bits and bobs in here. There's a severed head. We're going to use that for something. Some little chains. It had some antlers, and I don't remember. I lost one of them, and I was really bummed about that. But I've got a bunch of antlers right here. So maybe he'll get some antlers. Maybe he won't. So this head, the mouth at least. So the top part is from the bucket troll, and then the bottom, the mouth, is from 3D Cults, or Cult 3D Legend Emang, doing the Lord's work, my friend. You will not find the models on there anymore, but it was a Great Unclean one that I don't know if he sculpted it himself or if it was pulled from a game's files, and then converted. But they are sick, and I didn't even think about this, but while I was painting and talking with Tyler, $1 Billion Clown Farm, he actually was working on trolls that he had gotten from that guy's STLs, and they looked great. He was painting them this gorgeous blue color, like a bluish green aqua, but they were really pretty. Trolls, trolls. Hee hee. Alrighty. Let's get a little bit more green under that schnoz. I'm so loving this face. Yes. Sculpt, sculpt, sculpt. Lift, lift, lift. Gonna have some nice pretty lips so you can go out and kiss some cows. Maybe. What else is a troll supposed to do? I don't know. Carry buckets? I guess he could just carry a bucket. But I didn't sculpt these lips to not have him be smooching on stuff, so this guy's, he's a smoocher, for sure. Smooching on all the livestock. You're like, oh, I think a wolf's got in the pen. And you go out and you look and you're like, Jesus Christ, it's a big old troll, isn't it? That's what they'd say. There we go. That's good. Yes. Yes. That's so good. Look at you. My beautiful, beautiful boy. Yeah. I love this guy. He's great. You might have to end up staying home with me. You live here now. I'll probably can part ways. I really do enjoy giving models as gifts, so I think it's just getting my mind, it took so long to think of selling my art as not like selling part of me. But at the same time, I don't know, it's just I'm really, really happy that there are people that like my art enough to want to have some. That's just flattering, and like makes me feel okay being me. Like, because this is really about as pure of like just pouring who I am out into a cup. Just making something that did not exist a little bit before, with its own personality and its own little world that it lives in. It's just I love that vibe, love that feeling. That's fun. Can I come in your house just for a little bit, please? That's so fucked. So good. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this choice. This was a good idea. Very good idea. I'm happy. So, no, that was close. A little slip of the hand could have done away all the things I just did. But they didn't. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, beep, beep. So yeah, I also talked to Johnny last night about a logo for the Grimdark Distillery. So he is working on that, hopefully, or we at least talked about it, so hopefully that will be a thing. I don't want him to feel rushed on that at all. And I got my little BRB screen, which I didn't use. It's already 9:40, so we'll have to, we got off to a weird start today. My screen, my projector was messing up, which also, that's Man, that's just like my biggest pet peeve. Um, it's not even a pet peeve, as Sam and my wife will tell you. It's actually rage inducing. It enrages me. I really get upset when updates or something changes to the technology that I'm using that I require to do something that I've had to learn how to do in a very specific way. Um, there's no easier way to piss me off than being a company that like makes something that I'm like, man, this is a key part of how I do my thing. And then you just like, I push out an update and it utterly changes every aspect of the interface. It changes how things work. You have to redo your whole setup. It's just like, wow, that sucks. Thanks. Um, because, and again, the part that is so frustrating about that is I assume that I'm the problem. So like I'm over here trying to troubleshoot it and figure out what the hell I did wrong. Um, but then, yeah, nope, it's not me. It was that update. I just wasted 3 days or hours, depending on what the problem is. That's what a going live screen is for. You can address that for a few minutes while people hang out in the stream. So I started. I had to restart my whole laptop. That was why I restarted the stream this morning. Because I was going to try to use. Oh, okay, I'll use the RedWetSkeleton screen while I figure out why that's not working. And I did everything I could. Part of it's also probably Mac bullshit, uh, as you all know. But I mean, I guess I could try. I could try the BRB screen real quick because I do have to pee. Man, look at that guy. I love him. What a fun guy. He looks like someone I'd invite to my birthday party. And he better not bring a fucking gift. He's just gonna roll up, bring in a birthday gift to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday gift at my birthday party. That's the most disrespectful thing you could ever do to someone on their birthday. I fucked up that quote. You gonna bring a birthday gift to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday party with my birthday gift? That's got to be one of the weirdest sections of the stream. I'm sorry. And I don't know why I habitually do it every time. It's like, man, I really like when he chugs the coffee at the end. It's real fucking weird. But you all are my people, so I'm here for it, if you're here for it. How about you, Johnny? You here for it? I don't know. She is really taking off. Lots of leaves. Looking great. Greeplin's looking good too. I don't think the majority of people were here whenever I showed the staircase earlier, but it's fucking rad. So I'll show that real quick again while I'm up before I go pee. Yeah. So this is the staircase for that giant cathedral, which you can tell it's tall. It's like 2 feet something. The detail, again, like all things with this cathedral, are just stupid. And I'm constantly impressed every time. Keep it up, dude. Hex Briggs, my boy. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. 1490. 1490 Doom. I got an email from them today, so I got to look at all my digital stuff and see if it's in there. But that means that the thing that Greeplin will be printing next is maybe the castle. So I'll be right back. Let's see. Let's see if my BRB screen works. Gonna take pollution down to 0. Hi, I'm back. Alrighty. Who the hell did this to my troll? I'm just kidding. You look beautiful, my friend. Where did that pokey tool go? Where's my pokey tool? I know you're thinking, Eli, clean your desk. I refuse. Thank you. It feels great to be able to get up and go to the bathroom. Man. Good idea, everybody. Good idea. The key, I think, is to just do the things that I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. And hitting someone up about a screen was definitely a good choice. I'm already so pumped to start working on this side of the head. That is going, I'm so excited. Possum, I've been thinking about the stuff that you sent me last night or yesterday, and I think I've got some ideas. I really dug all that art. Plus Steve stuff gets me really pumped. It's very, now you just need to hit up this guy Eli about a little BRB song. Yeah, I guess I could hit him up about that. Please hold on, my sweets. I have to go pee. Probably not bad. I really liked the juxtaposition of the BRB screen, like, and that's Chessie. We have the Chessie wing in our house. It's a the hallway, like the main. We have one hallway. We have one hallway in my house. My house has one hall. That's a weird thing to think about. But yeah, we have one hall, and it is the Chessie wing, and that is where we have all of Chessie's pieces. Actually, that's not true. There's some in the living room. We have a big gallery wall that has a lot of art. Some of it that Kelly's done. Some of it's just like things that are like important framed. And there's also other stuff in there like my cicadas. My cicadas are like the center. Just a bunch of, I would say pinned, but they're not pinned. They're glued because I didn't want to damage these cicadas. And they obviously were all ethically sourced and whatnot. I don't. That's definitely, I love cicadas so much, so I would never endorse anybody killing them. Makes me really sad that that's essentially what they're for in the food chain, is just to be like nutrients for other things. But I love them. I love the songs they sing, the cheer they bring me. It's just great. I have also been thinking, I don't know, this isn't really related to cicadas. I guess I got thinking about this because of Jason, my Pac-Man. Oh my gosh, that head's looking great. Also, I'm excited to hear about your ideas about that thing we talked about. Hell yeah. I've got a bunch of stuff. So that's when I was looking at, I don't know if I ever finished that thought this morning when I first started it, but as far as commissions and doing pricing like that, so much of my stuff is just, I consider almost it all sculpting. And I just use bits and like base frames of models typically as like an armature for what I am adding to it. And that's not like I cannot stress enough, like the more of the model that you can see, the more I probably loved the model and I wanted to respect the creator of it. And that's the first thing, because this is drastically changing the model. I did want to reach out to Tyler before I started working on anything. Before I made a single cut, I wanted to make sure I reached out to him to say, hey, I have a really gnarly idea for a conversion that I want to do with the bucket troll, but I did not want it to be misinterpreted as any kind of shade. because I definitely value Tyler as a member of the community and a friend. So I did not want anything to be misconstrued, that I did not like his sculpt or I thought anything like that. I just tried to be considerate of the artists now, and I say that that does not apply to copy paste shit from GW. And by that I mean literally if you have like a box in your 3D sculpting toolkit of hands and you just go and you grab that and you paste it on there, that's not the same thing as sculpting. That's like, I don't know how to digitally sculpt, but I can do that. The issue with that is I think just pride in one's work. And I'm not saying that you have to sculpt every single part of a model. That's not it at all. The difference in that is if you sculpt it, or if you're putting enough effort into it, that's fine if you have like things like, oh, I've got some already pre-sculpted parts that I'm using. But that's not really what they do typically. They typically recycle the same thing and put out more models that are just kind of slightly different, slightly altered. And then the other side of that is copy pasting, Space Wolves with their bolters completely upside down and not caring enough to fix it before it goes out. And I don't think they even still fixed it. I think you can still order those incorrectly sculpted Space Marines from the specialty company, which is exponentially more expensive than the regular one. And that is just offensive to me on an artistic standpoint. So that is where, if I ever talk shit, it's because I love the art of sculpting, I love the art of storytelling, I love the art of character design, and the way that certain things are handled, or those things are handled by some people, some places, can really upset me because, again, it's my passion. And I know the fucked up part about that is it's probably not even their fault. I would almost 100% say it is not something that they wanted to do, but something that they were told to do. And I know all about that as well, but that is why I no longer am in the industry I was in. Instead, I'd like to do what I love, because I think I can do more for everybody that way. With my work and without, like, just... I love that head. That's so fun. Such a good lumpy boy. My good lumpy boy son. Oh my goodness, look at you. The most beautiful boy in the world. Hi. He definitely wouldn't talk. I don't know. If he did, it would be a horrifying sound. I assume he just makes lots of like loud noises, a lot of wheezing. I assume he has a very, very hard time breathing. Just being a very large land-dwelling thing. Definitely is vibing on some elephant jams. Hey, you guys like the movie Apostle? Let me grab my flowers. So, I'm sure I've talked about this, but every time Apostle gets mentioned, there is one scene that I think of this every time. It's my favorite scene. It's not the grizzly scene. It's like the only comedic scene in the whole movie, and it has to be intentional, because if it's not, I just don't even understand the movie then. But there's a part, I'm gonna have to cut that. It is 2 in there, and I will mess up like I already did on that side, the green stuff, if I don't. But there's a part in Apostle where the guy that has snuck in, the priest or whatever has snuck in, and he's trying to get out or whatnot, and they go to sound the alarm, and it's like, sound the alarm or ring the bell. They tell this guy to ring the bell. And I assume that it was intentionally supposed to be a bit, because the time that the person who rings the bell waits is uncomfortably unnatural. Like, they just kind of stare, and then they just grab the bell and just go ding 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 ding. It's just so goofy, and I love it. I love it. I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. We gotta go back. I gotta watch that again, and then again, and then again. Okay, now I'm good. Oh yeah, look at that big, beautiful baby. Oh my goodness, Tyler, look at this baby. Look at the baby. Says, I've got a bucket. These buckets. Where'd your bucket go, friend? Here it is. He's gonna need a bigger bucket. We're gonna need a bigger bucket. Speaking of Mr. Bean, since we watched Wonka the other day, I got to see Mr. Bean, and the first thing I thought of was Eric mentioning Mr. Bean. He was like, that's a lot of guns. And I was like, I didn't think Mr. Bean ever talked. And then I did my best impression of it, and he was like, that's actually spot on. That's exactly like what he sounds like in the movie. Gosh, his neck's good and long. What a good, creepy boy. Maybe it's a little bit too long, though. Maybe we need to go just a smidgen back. There, yep, that's it. Right there. So we're gonna take a little bit off the top. Just a little bit off the top. A little off the top, sir. What's his name? We need to name this guy. Ghibli is always a good name. A good God-given Christian name. Ghibli. He kind of looks like a Ghibli. Oh, yeah. Ghibli. Ghibli cribbly, isn't it? We love his miracles, don't we? Yeah, I'm loving that. That is great. What a beautiful baby. Mm-hmm. Just adding some really fine little detail in there with the skin. Oh, Ghibli, you silly goofball. You always tell the best jokes. Lollipop Deck. That's the guy with the bucket in Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. The lobotomy scene in that movie is gnarly, but I think the dad standing in the doorway holding the viscera and the sheer amount of gore in the background is horrifying. It absolutely is. That is one, I think that, yeah, no, I agree in every bit of that. Awesome. That really, and that is, I think, the difference between like just gore and horror, I guess. I think true horror is way more in the psychological realm, not just in what it shows you, but like it makes you really kind of think about it. Which absolutely, after I'm trying to remember what it was. It might have been Masters of Horror, but there's a documentary series that Kelly and I watched. And it is absolutely where my respect of Eli Roth came from, because prior, I did not care for Eli Roth. And it was honestly because I was one of those people that was like, it's just gore for gore's sake. But upon understanding his intent of inventing Gorno, I actually related to him on a very keen level, where it was just, oh shit, I've been doing to your art what people have done to mine for so long. And that's like essentially just diminishing concepts that are in my head very clear, but to others it's more subversive or ethereal. But yeah, big fan of that documentary series. But he pretty much interviews, comments on a lot of absolutely just phenomenal horror movies that really define the genre. Um, which I forgot. I said The Substance came out last year, right? Because that movie fucks so hard. God, it's so good. Eh, very good body horror movie if you like that. Um, oh my gosh, I love this troll. Tyler, thank you. Thank you for giving me this little troll baby. Look at my son. He's gonna have so much hair. Not where you would think though. It's gonna be upsetting. On his little ears and coming out. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm so excited. Let's get that eye a little bit cleaner. I really want a nice, which means we're gonna have to change out this blade, baby. Change out the blade, BB. What the hell was even that? My water bottle, no! Where are my goddamn blades? Where is my goddamn Bible? We're a bar, we don't have one. Seriously though, where are all of my X-Acto blades? There's like hundreds somewhere. Where are you? Reveal yourself, Satan. I don't remember. I want to say it's not What We Do in the Shadows. There's some movie that Johnny Depp was in and he played a vampire. That's not even the right kind of blade. What the fuck is even that, Eli? Come on. Hold on a second, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's a movie with Johnny Depp and he plays like a vampire. But in the very beginning, I think my favorite part, and I don't remember damn near anything else of that movie. So the part that I liked was when he like first gets up out of his grave and he goes and stands up over the ridge and he talks about a presence that he feels and he's just like, show yourself, Satan, and then like the giant McDonald's arches like flash on like right in front of him and I guffawed, and that's the only part of that movie I remember. So I really liked that part though. Very funny. Very funny. Man, I tell you what, I'm not a big fan of these gnats that are in a Johnny's tank. You're like, man, look at all these gnats. Get out of there. Yeah, the lobotomy scene in that movie is rowdy. I'm trying to remember, there was another, I want to say Netflix movie. It's maybe The Priest. But it's about a priest that goes to a church to investigate reports of something sketchy happening. He finds out it's some sketchy shit. I want to say it's The Priest, but another one. Trying to think. There's another one. If you guys are looking for a horror, I can visualize the character, but never saw the movie. Oh fuck, man, I forgot. So, spoiler alert. This is a spoiler for Weapons. It's a joke. This is not going to be a spoiler, but 100%, I shit you not, the whole movie, I'm just like, I think that's Josh Brolin. And when we got out, I was like, so that guy, like the one of the main guys, like that was Josh Brolin the whole time, right? And she was like, yeah, you didn't know that? And I was like, no, I thought it was. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Josh Brolin. Yeah, and I was like, man, what a twist. I never saw that coming. That guy with the long hair, that was Josh Brolin the whole time. Which is, of course, a reference to the Always Sunny episode. And the reason that I referenced that is because I unintentionally, this is a little bit of my own personal lore, I had never seen The Sixth Sense, but after watching that, I made the joke like, oh, no, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I already know the spoiler, that the guy in the hairpiece is Bruce Willis the whole time. And then my wife was just like, well, you know what the actual spoiler is, right? And I was like, yeah. And I told her what I thought the spoiler was. And she was like, okay, no, we have to watch that movie because I misinterpreted what spoilers I had read or misremembered. So I did get to experience it without knowing what I was getting into, which was kind of fun for a movie, as old as it is. And the only thing that I can think of that is like similar, and this is a level of like, holy shit, I wish I could jump in this person's mind for just a day to just see what it's like in there. But one of our friends watched Star Wars with their mom, and they had no idea that Darth Vader was Luke's father. And they lost their fucking mind. They were like, "What? Darth Vader's Luke's dad?" It's just like the I don't know how you make it as far in life, like living in just having any like connection to like pop culture whatsoever and not know that. But holy shit, to have someone make it to the point that they can like watch Star Wars with their adult child and then like be surprised that Darth Vader was Luke's dad the whole time. It just, that is wild to me. But that's because like I'm just thinking just in pop culture, like everybody knows that, right? Um, Not everybody, but that's also how you get answers like Danky Kang and Zoldo, and God bless those people. My body is ready. Oh my goodness. Look at you. Ghibli is a good name, but I don't know if it feels right. Todd also doesn't feel right, but kind of closer. Todd. Todd just seems like a good name for a troll. Or Walter. Walter's a good troll name. Kevin. Kevin's a really good troll name. His name might be Kevin. Kevin. I didn't know that was a hat. It's not. It's my bucket. Got scooch down just a little bit, huh, sweet? It is 10:09. I'm a little bit on here for a little bit later. I did get started a little bit later, and I'm also really enjoying doing this, if I'm being honest. Oh, man. But I probably should stop here in a little bit because I got a little bit more green stuff, and I've got to use that for the 1490 Doom stuff because I do have to get those done. And then I got to get ready for the Dying World Thursday. I'm really glad I didn't have to make new characters. And I'm probably going to have to revisit old Krator because he is way too flimsy to be the NPC that pretty much shepherds the party through the expansion of Wretched or its story. Also, before anybody is like, I want to commission you to make a Grink with Margot hair, that I did discuss with my wife is not on the table. I can make you a Grink. It won't have Margot hair. That's absolutely one of the things that is like, I kind of group all materials in one category because again, I use plastic and green stuff almost interchangeably as well as metal. Same thing with resin. Most of the stuff that I have in plastic, I can get the same bit printed if I use it. So my materials cost is considerably lower than I think most people value it because I value it essentially as filler. It's all filler for what I need to convey. And if it doesn't fit, then I'll make it fit in a way that makes sense. So, man, this is so fucking rad. I'm really, really happy with this decision. Yeah. But hair, Margot hair would be a thing that's just like, yep, I can put hair on a thing. If you're specifically like, I want Margot hair, that is going to be pricier just because, and I can't utterly cover a model in Margot hair because I do not have that much Margot hair, which I know that seems crazy because it's just like Margot's covered in hair. There are only certain, you have to get a spore, which is ironically where grink comes from. In order to collect Margot hair that is going to be used on models, it has to be a tuft that essentially she sheds. Those are the best Margot hair. I can use other Margot hair, but it does not. It might as well be my hair or something because it will not be in the same super tight pattern. And those I have to harvest naturally. Same thing with dead things and teeth, real teeth. Those kinds of things are when I would like look into, okay, well, materials wise, it's going to cost this much because I have to gather them. Same thing with like, I guess, yeah, the only things, the plastic, the sculpting, that kind of stuff, I kind of group that all into, yep, it's all the same. Because that's kind of how I work. If I don't have a bit off the top of my head that I know will work for what I am going to do, but I have a very specific set idea in mind, I do not make a compromise. I sculpt it, or I get styrene out and I cut it to fit and make it look like what I want, just depending on what the shape is. So it's all just kind of grouped in together in my head of material until you get to like, again, finite things, Margot hair, dead bugs, teeth, real bones, anything that is like not readily available, that it will be hard to replace. Photo etch kind of stuff. But even then I have enough of that it's just like I'm not going to nickel and dime people by any means. The expensive part will just be the time. So however many hours that I'm working will pretty much dictate the cost. Which means that obviously if I don't paint it, if you are wanting to paint it, you will be able to get things cheaper because that will save me a lot of time. Also, as far as turnaround, I will say that if I don't have to paint something, it will be done a lot quicker because painting is an entirely different like change of mode unless I'm in paint mode for like my own personal stuff, and that just I literally cannot do that. So obviously I don't charge for. I'm not going to charge for that. It's more of a. It might take me a little bit to get back to you on it. I won't be sculpting it as quickly. Sculpting is absolutely the number, like making the model. That's the part that I'm extremely comfortable with. Painting, I'm always a little hesitant until I start. And I say that, but we probably, I might just be talking out my ass right now because I've also done a lot of stuff that I'm like really happy with how the painting came out and I knocked it out really quick. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what kinds of things people are interested in for commissions. And while I may have jokingly said no Space Marines, I don't mean that as in like I'm not making any Space Marines. It's more of a, I'm not gonna, I would hope that people know not to like, hey, will you make this box of dudes for me entirely out of the box, just the way they're supposed to be? Because that would be no, even if you're gonna offer to pay me a lot of money, because I can't. Like I have no interest in that. And there are so many other people that I think would just do what that goal is better than myself. Whereas I think it would just take a long time and be difficult for me because I see things and I'm like, man, it would be so much better if it looked like this. Oh man, it would look so much better if it was like this. I have to fix that. And then I can't get past that in my head of that's not how it's supposed to look. You got to fix it. But with commissions, I know that that's absolutely something that I'm going to have to know where to draw a line of, okay, if I'm only going to work on this for 5 hours at this point, this is what we call it done. And knowing what can I get done in that time period and doing it in a way that makes sense. But that part is actually what I'm really good at, is the planning things out from the ground up and then using logic to figure out the steps and where issues will happen. and how to account for that. Yeah, I love that. This guy's face is so good. Oh, my beautiful boy. I don't care what people say. I think you could be a model. Such swagger, such confidence in that step. You look at him and you're like, that's a fancy boy. He fancy. And I'm like, that's my son. You are my son. Theo's gonna get mad if he hears me saying that too much. I'm the only son you've got. All right, I'm really happy with that. I think I'm probably gonna end here. I've been going for about 2 hours, and I'm gonna, before this starts drying, I'm gonna get at the other 1490 Doom stuff that I need to finish. Just a little bit of green stuffing. So I am gonna end here. I will post something on Insta about commissions opening up, kind of explaining the process, pricing, that kind of stuff. Also, if you want to hang out with us in the Discord server, the link is in the YouTube description. Yeah, eventually there will be more people in there. There's still a lot of good people in there though right now, but I really want it to be a space that people who like what I like to do and have mutual things in common can chill and hang out, talk about whatever. Yeah. Thank you so much, Possum. And yeah, I will talk to you about the stuff. I've got some ideas. I'm pretty excited about it. I just need to think about how long I think they will take, and how many you were wanting, that kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out. It means the world to me, truly. You giving me your time, that is the most precious resource you have, and it is not noticed or thought about. It is not unnoticed or not appreciated. It's very appreciated. So thank you all so much. But until next time, take care, sit pretty, be good to yourselves and to each other. I sent you some more photos too. I totally forgot some stuff. Oh, hell yeah. No, I'll have to go check those out. I'm excited. No, that's the kind of thing that I'm like, fuck yeah, I would like to do a commission like that. That sounds fun as shit. Especially just letting me just cook up something awful. I feel like I could really throw something nightmarish together pretty quick on those. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Wish you already have a great rest of your day. You too, guys. And yeah, I will be back 7 tonight with the Dying World. We will make our journey to go meet. We got to find an auto da fe. We have to find one. So hopefully we will. Hopefully we can find an act of faith happening. But thank you all so much. Take care, my sweets.